Hi, welcome to West in Peace. I'm Locd. This is a long overdue intro video. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and my background so that this channel will make more sense to more people. Um, let's start. I am or was somebody that did not use social media and did not try to get into the big technology game. I'm humble, I'm organic, and I'm used to dealing with people one on one and not through the internet. About a little over a year ago, I had knee surgery and found YouTube. And, now I'm here. You guys see me everywhere. And I started moderating for a person who is notorious in her own right for surviving a horrific shooting at the hands of P. Diddy. I'll say allegedly because I wasn't there, but she's sure that's what happened. So I moderated for her for a little over a year, and it was a great experience. I love the chats, I love connecting with a lot of people, and it was really, really good. Um, I like YouTube because everybody gets to be themselves. And I've seen that the most authentic people are the people that succeed. The people that stay true to themselves are the people that succeed. And the people that, are not fake. They're the people that succeed. There's a lot of back and forth that goes on YouTube. I don't want to be a part of any of it. That is a lot of the reason that I am no longer a mod for the person that I moderated for, because I didn't want to be the drama, be part of the drama, be in the drama, or have anything to do with the drama. I'm here because I believe in love, truth, justice, and community. I know that when we work together, we can complete any task. When we work together, we can conquer any evil. And it's just getting us together that is the thing. Um, in 2008, I was walking down the street at about 9 o'clock at night, coming home from the store, and a man snatched me up by my neck and choked me. He brought me between two buildings, and he had me down, face down, and had me in a sleeper hold, and was telling me to go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And I did. I passed out. I couldn't breathe. Everything went dark. And I saw myself underneath him. From above, I could see him on top of me. I could see where I was in between the two buildings. And I knew that that was it. It was over. It was the end. There was nothing I could do. I was on my, like, face down. One hand was pinned under me. The other hand was trying so hard to use my phone, but I lost power. When I saw myself laying there, not breathing, the only thing that I thought was, who's going to take care of my kids? As soon as I had that thought, I was back in my body and I was fighting to get away from this man. He saw me using my phone, so he tried to get it from me. And when he tried to get it from me, it flew a little bit and we both went for it. When we both went for it, he had to let go of my neck a little bit, and I got the phone first. I was trying to speed dial. This is back in 2008. We had buttons on our phones, and you could push the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4 and just hold it, and it would speed dial somebody, whoever you programmed. So I was trying to speed dial anybody just to get my testimony out there, just so that I'd have a witness to what was going on, just so somebody would know to go check on my kids. And when the phone flew, he went for it. He let go of me a little bit, and I got loose. My hair was in a bun. He grabbed my bun with his right hand and he grabbed a rock with his left hand, or maybe it was the other way around. You can see I got scars all over my face. But he beat me in the head and the face with this rock. It was triangular, it was sharp, and I should have said trigger warning at the beginning of this video. So I'm going to say trigger warning now. And he was punching me like he was trying to punch through my head with this rock. And it was a good thing because it gave me leeway to stand up and try to get towards the street. And let me just go back a little bit and tell you that when I was walking towards this man and he was walking towards me on the street, he was the only person on the street. There was no cars going by. There was no bicyclists going by. There were no buses. There's no pedestrians. There's nobody out there. It was just like a silent movie set. It was just him and me. I had a weird feeling when he was coming towards me, so as he walked past me, I gave him the and when he got to my blind spot, that's when he clotheslined me and dragged me. So back to the rock, I got away from him. Well, I got towards the street and I started trying to make noise, but there was nobody around. There was absolutely nobody around. And I was still trying to use my phone, and he was trying to drag me back between the two buildings again. This lasted about 13 minutes. Finally, he ran away from me, and what I remember vividly is looking at my phone and trying to dial any number and just seeing blood just dripping, dripping, dripping on my phone. I ended up with two big black eyes that stuck out farther than my forehead. Now let me tell you, he was a stranger. I'd never seen him before in my life. My taste buds all died on my tongue because when I got choked, my tongue swelled up, and like I have scars from biting on it, and all my taste buds fell off. I got new taste buds, and that was amazing. So that was a good thing that came out of it. I had over 28 knots and spots in my head that were open. My head bled for 2 days. I was a single mother. I had two kids that were in school. And I decided that it would be best for me to report what happened and leave the state. I was in North Carolina at the time. And I left North Carolina and moved back to where my kids had family so that while I was healing, they would be taken care of and I would know that they were safe. I worked from 2008, like that weekend. I I think I was off for a couple days after that, and I was a manager for a tax office, marketing manager, and I had my own office. So I, being the person that I am, put on sunglasses, a Hawaiian shirt, and decorated the office like it was a luau, and I still worked. I worked all the way until 2015 when I couldn't work anymore. The result of that incident, and I didn't go to the hospital because I didn't know what would happen to my kids. I didn't have any family in North Carolina, and there was nobody that I could trust. So I just tried to tough it out, and I worked and I worked and I worked all the way till 2015. I always had 2 or 3 jobs. I like to hustle. I like to make money. I like to stay busy. I like to stay positive, and I like to progress. So I worked, And at the end, I was a server at IHOP. I was a manager too. I think I ended up being a server though because management was just a headache. But and all yeah, so I worked all the way through 2015. And because I was working and I was in the state of Texas, I couldn't get Medicaid or Medi-Cal or I couldn't get government insurance and I couldn't afford insurance myself because I made $2.13 an hour plus tips. And my tips were good. I made good money. I was good at my job. But at the same time, it wasn't good enough to be paying doctors. I did in 2013 start going to a chiropractor spa type place to get help. And they did like, deep tissue massages and things like that. But I didn't really get to go to the doctor until 2016 when I stopped working, moved out of Texas, and got on the county benefits because I didn't have a job. Whew, I went to the doctor in 2016 and I was diagnosed with severe spinal stenosis, which means that basically your spinal cord is being pinched inside of your vertebrae. And I had to have like a surgery right away. And they did the surgery because I was in pain, I was hurting, and there's a lot of stuff going on with me, but I tried to ignore it and just keep going because I had to raise my kids. Nobody else was going to take care of them. So I was diagnosed, and eventually, long story short, I guess, is I was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. I have that surgery that I had, it did not fuse my neck. So when I tilt my head back, it it's like a Pez dispenser. My spine, we have vertebrae, they're stacked on top of each other, and my vertebrae just like opens up. So I have problems with moving my neck. And I have a spinal cord injury. Then I found out that I have scoliosis that's pulling my spine to the left. I have chronic pain, chronic migraines, um, just a lot of stuff. Like I have a lot of issues, and I've been dealing with them. And I try to ignore them as much as possible because I do not want them to be what rules my life. I do not want to be defined by my injuries. I'm not telling you this story to make you sad, to make you feel bad for me. I'm just letting you know why I'm the way I am. I want to put my energy into us, into you, and into me, and into all of us so that we can be who we were supposed to be, so that we can live in our purpose and we can help each other. I feel like there was more that I was going to say, but I do have a traumatic brain injury and sometimes I forget stuff. But I'm locked. I am still dealing with a spinal cord injury and all the things that I told you about. I told you guys before about that dental appointment, and I just went and had a pain procedure done, and I got like 7 or 8 shots in my neck, my back, and my shoulder. They put the medicine right where the pain is. So I am in a lot of pain right now, but we don't care about that. We're going to let the pain do its thing. I named them. I named this one Beyonce because it's the loudest one, like the one that's got the most energy. And then my shoulder, I named it Rihanna because it's always yelling and screaming and repeating the same things and trying to compete with Beyonce over here. And then I got Lady Gaga down in my back because she's just like a background singer with nothing really nice to say. So that's how I deal with the pain. I am reading the Bible in a year on this channel. It's not to make this a biblical channel at all. There's just 365 days in a year, and I'm using this year to read it. And y'all are welcome to come with me if you want to join in the journey. If you're like me and you want to see it firsthand for yourself instead of hearing about it from other people, that's what I'm doing. We're in the Old Testament right now, and I've heard how the Old Testament God was like very jealous and I want to say mean. And I'm seeing that in the Numbers and the Deuteronomies that we're reading. And I was thinking about it last night because the way that everybody is said to be put to death for not doing something is really scary. But I thought about it, and I think it sunk in that because God was establishing a baseline of good and evil, because he rescued these people and wanted to use them as people who were different than everybody else, set apart or holy, he had to start off with the harshest punishments in order to show the later peoples why they should listen and follow. If he would have been easy on the first people, then nobody would listen to him at all. So I sort of I see where he's coming from there. It's very harsh, but thousands of years later, hundreds of years later, we look back and we see it's thousands. We see that by reading these stories and learning these stories, we have an example to follow of what to do and what not to do. So I think that that's something that I've gotten out of reading the Bible so far. I am camera shy, but I will be here a lot more often, doing a lot more things than just reading the Bible. If you crochet, put a comment down below, because I have a charity that I help called Knots of Love, and I make blankets and hats for little preemie babies. And if you like to crochet or want to learn how to crochet, want to keep your hands busy and out of mischief, that's something that I want to do with you. So leave a comment down below and let me know that you're interested. I'm very humble. I'm very small, but I'm very mighty. I don't talk a lot unless I have a lot to say, but I like to listen. I care about people. I care about good. I care about love. And I want to spread smiles. Smiles are the things that I want to see more than I want to see money. So stick with me, kid. And I know you're not a kid. It's just expression. But stick with me, and we're going to go far. This is only the beginning. But that was a little intro to Locd. I don't want to talk about being in pain or being attacked or anything like that all the time. I'm a survivor. I am not a victim. I am here. I am breathing. I am walking, and I'm living. So I don't want any pity. I don't want any sorrow. I want us to just connect on how we can be better people together and individually. Hope that's what you're here for. This has been your introduction to Locd. It wasn't that bad. I will see you in the next one. And Locd is out. Thank you for listening.